Our first guest on this week's show is a senior forward and the leading scorer not only for the Notre Dame men's soccer team but the entire ACC, Jon Gallagher. Gallagher leads the ACC in scoring this year with 12 goals and 31 points, his 7 assists being the second highest total in the ACC. How important is he to the Irish this season? Well, in games when Jon has scored a goal, the Irish are 9-0. And this week, Gallagher was named the ACC Offensive Player of the Year. Congratulations, Jon, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, I'm already, see, people can tell. You think you don't have it. I love the Irish accent. And you're from just outside of Dublin.
Yep.
So what made an Irishman come play for the Fighting Irish?
I think you just answered it right there. The Fighting Irish had to come immediately, and obviously with the best coach in college soccer wasn't a difficult decision. So,
growing up in Ireland, are a lot of people aware of Notre Dame and how big Irish culture is here?
not really, no. Like a lot of my friends back home have no idea, apart from learning it when they see stuff about me on social media. But not many people know about Notre Dame.
So how did you come to know of it?
So I was actually in England at the time, and I had to choose between continuing my education or trying to make it professional. And just thought it was a silly decision to let go of my education at such a young age. So it was actually my dad who suggested going to America because it offers the best of both worlds in athletics and in education. So I was in boarding school. I started doing a little bit of research online, just Googling the best colleges for soccer and education. And a few came up, and started emailing coaches across the country, trying to get my name out there. I made a video. A few reached back to me. It was something about the Notre Dame Irish Catholic vibe. I just
Felt like home?
Yeah, just it's very cliche, but it just did. And I kind of went after that, and things went well with Boss, and managed to get myself a spot in the team.
So what was your first interaction with Boss, Bobby Clark, like?
Yeah, sorry, we call him Boss.
No, I know that. We've had him on the show. So
so I sent an email to him with a video and my resume, and tried to,
did you know of his
look
stardom in English soccer?
Yeah,
Scottish soccer, to be exact.
I didn't know that. I was more just trying to reach out to him any way I could. I sent him a video, and at first he was like, "No, we're not going to recruit you unless we see you in person." So I said, okay, I really, really want to go here. So I said, is there any way I can make it out to the States? And he said, we have a camp during July. So I think in 2014, my dad gave me the money to fly over to America for a week, and went to the camp and gave it everything I had, and things worked out from there. So
Was campus like you had imagined?
Oh, it was unreal. There is nothing like it back home. Especially when I send pictures and stuff to my friends back home, they're just blown away by the facilities here and everything that goes on. So it's a whole new world out here.
I traveled abroad this past summer a little bit, just for a week in Dublin, and so I stayed at Trinity College, and it is very different in facilities-wise, how big it is here, and we're still considered a smaller university compared to a lot of the other schools across the country, which is kind of crazy.
Especially the sports too. There's nothing like it. You either go into sports or education. You can't get both. So I think that's something that really appeals to people back home now. They're starting to realize a different way into a path to the professional league, which is the MLS here, or just a breathing ground in college soccer. So.
Now, when Coach Clark offered you a scholarship, did he tell you of any expectations that he had for you?
It was all mainly academics. The boss loves to stress the importance of academics on this team, and I think it shows in the team average. GPA is exceptionally high. We have very, very intelligent individuals on our team, and he told me I had to get a certain SAT score and certain GPA in high school, so I had to crack down and open the books for the next year.
Now, you went to prep school. Was that the next year?
Yeah, so
at Green Farms Academy in Connecticut?
Yeah, somehow I committed here in August, and then 2 weeks later, out of nowhere, just by coincidence, my dad called me and he said, I got a job offer in Connecticut. do you want to come live with us for your last year of high school? And I said, yes, I would love to. So I left boarding school and finished off my education in Greens Farms in Connecticut.
Now, it seems that Coach Clark is a good eye for talent. I'm going to embarrass you now. Here's a little listing of what you've won. 2016 ACC Offensive Player of the Year, All-ACC First Team. 2015 Notre Dame Monogram Club Co-Most Valuable Player. 2015 NCAA Division I All-South Regional Team. 2015 All-ACC Third Team. 2015 ACC All-Academic Team, which I know is important. 2014 ACC All-Freshman Team. It would be fair to say you're one of the best players in the ACC, which right now is getting the reputation as the #1 soccer conference in the United States. How tough is the competition in this league?
It's very tough, yeah. I've come up against very, very good players here who have the potential to have great careers in the professional leagues. I think you can see it week in and week out. Just the advertisement of soccer in the ACC is exceptionally high.
Did you expect to have this kind of success?
No. I always set my goals very high. I try to overachieve. To be honest, it's my teammates that make me look good in front of goal. So I give a lot of thanks to them. Boss always talks about any individual award as a team award. So.
Were you aware of the 2013 national title?
Yes.
Did that contribute to your reaching out to Notre Dame?
No. So I had already committed by then.
Okay.
So.
I know the academics did, and you're in the Mendoza College of Business, which is consistently ranked the #1 ranked undergraduate business school in the country. Management consulting.
Mm-hmm.
When your playing career is over, what do you think you'll do with that?
I have no idea. Haven't thought that far. Hopefully I can play for as long as I can, and then hopefully have some options after that. But right now I'm just trying to focus on soccer, but also get my education, which is very, very important.
Will you try to play pro in the U.S., or do you think you'll go back home or back to Europe and try to play?
I'm not trying to think that far ahead yet. Trying to focus on my career here and doing the best for my team. So yeah, trying to focus on winning a national championship, which I haven't done, and I'd love to do before I graduate. So.
But you've had some trials. You've had a trial with Juventus, FC, Olympique, Marseille in the French League, Newcastle United in the Premier League, the Blackburn Rovers in the Championship League in England. What is a trial? What is that? Was that a tryout? Is that do you play with them for? Do you actually play with them for a month or so?
Yeah. So in England we call it a trial. Essentially, like a scout would see you playing for your school or your local club and ask you to come try out for the trials.
Do you play in games or is it a tryout?
Yeah, it's both. You can be in just training with the team or actually play in a game. There's no contract involved. It's just seeing whether or not you're good enough, and then depending on how you do, they might offer you something.
So are they playing other teams in their respective leagues?
Yeah.
So you've already played at the highest level of soccer in the world?
Not yet.
Not quite? How high are these teams?
They're very, very good. I've played with some exceptionally good players who I've seen in recent years.
I mean, I've heard of Newcastle United. Are there many are many leagues higher than that? That's the Premier League. Even in the States, we know about the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that has to be. What kind of measuring stick was that for you? What did you come away from that experience with in terms of how far you have to go to be able to excel at that level?
I think talent can only get you so far, is what I realized. You can be good with your club or your high school, but if you really want to make it to the next level, you have to put in the work. And that's something I pride myself in, is just hard work every day. And I think that's something that you have to do if you want to be one of the best. So.
I know your dad's very successful in business. In fact, I want to meet him because apparently he has something to do with one of my favorite beverages. Talk a little bit about one of your dad's business interests. Does he still have this ownership interest?
He's not an owner. He just works for a company that owns Guinness. So.
And
Jameson, I think. Yeah.
Hey, man, nothing takes the edge off a tough day like a little bit of Irish whiskey, that's for sure. So what do you think about, you're waiting until Monday to get what your NCAA bid will be. Mm-hmm. Give me the prospects for this club in postseason this year.
Well, I think before the season even started, we already kind of set this idea that regardless of who we're playing, we're expected to win. So I know all the guys are keen to see our seeding on Monday and who we're going to play and what kind of bracket we're put in, but regardless of our opponent, it's just a hurdle that we have to overcome to get to the trophy. We feel we're the best team in the country. We just have to stick to what we know, stick to how we want to play, and stick together most importantly. And we know that if we do all those things, we can come out on top of anybody. So,
with this confidence in your team, what would you say attributed to when you guys kind of hit a couple obstacles earlier this season?
Well, Boss always talks about this. Wins and losses are both imposters, and he says this
philosophical.
He says this every day, but it is very true. I think in games that we won, we may have not played the best, but we managed to come out on top. And then some of the games that we lost, we played our best soccer and somehow managed to give away a goal late on. But that's the sport, and that's why we love it. But I think what we have to realize is that in those times that are tough when we lose, we're still playing the best soccer, so we just have to believe in ourselves going forward.
I mean, I've never played for him, but I want to throw this out there because I love talking with Coach Clark. I love doing the occasional game that I will do, getting the pregame, but just hitting him in a social setting, just in the parking lot. But all he has to do is walk by me with his "Hello, Jack," and just he has this energy. And it makes me feel better. I mean, it wakes me up. I mean, does he do that on the practice field to you guys too?
Every day. Regardless of what's going on, he's just always energetic and upbeat. And you could be having a terrible day, and Boss will come into the locker room and cheer you up, his smile, or say something quirky. But yeah, he always brings the best out of us.
Rachel, please. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought a little bit.
That's my fault. I should never step in there at all. Well, we just need Coach Clark to come here and bring things all back. Well, I know it was a very interesting and deep question. So, when are you gonna? Where do you think you'll live? Because you've lived in Ireland, you've lived in England. That makes sense. You've lived in Connecticut. We know that. You also lived in Singapore. How long were you in Singapore?
I lived in Jamaica too.
Ooh,
oh wow! Add that to the list.
That one's very interesting. I lived in Singapore for 3 years, and funny enough, we have another guy in the team, Felician, who is from Singapore, who I grew up playing with for 3 years. We were best friends in Singapore, played in the same team for 3 years, and small world. Now he's on the same team as me in college. So.
Right, but you said Jamaica. That was interesting.
Yeah,
you got to tell the story.
I was very young. It was very. I was too young to experience it, but it was very eye-opening living in a third world country. Just to see how other people live in poverty, and growing up in that setting kind of shaped who I am now. So. What
has brought you to stay in those other countries? Family? Did your family move there?
Yeah, so my dad's job. He when I was 8 years old, he got opportunity to, expand his knowledge in his field and grow in his career. So he took the opportunity, and the family followed him. So.
All right, Jon, it's been delightful. Good luck the rest of this season, and we'll be rooting for you to relight the number one on Grace Hall. You started the season. You were the first team to do it here at Notre Dame, and I know you desperately want to get that back, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We're back with Greer Martini right after this.
You use the crowd's energy, and it really just pumps me up, pumps my team up. Just to have your emotions heighten, your stomach gets a nervous, excited feeling, gets your adrenaline pumping.
All right, let's bring it Irish. Defense wins this game. Work for each other, play for each other.
At that moment in time, we all know that we're there for each other.
Irish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Irish!